Well, hey everybody, welcome to SSSVEDA day number 11. Today's topic is, what social network do you love the most? In the past 6 months or so, I've really cut back on social media. And I was never a real big Facebook user, but I did usually once a day scroll through the timeline, see what was going on. But in the last 6 months, I look at Facebook maybe once every third week, or maybe even once a month. I just go through a timeline and spend about 20 minutes on it. So Facebook, it's almost completely dropped off my radar. Instagram, my daughter sends me funny cat videos or pictures every day, so I look at those. But other than that, I'm not a big Instagram user. Snapchat, never was big on Snapchat. Twitter, in the last 6 months, I have cut back dramatically. I used to get about 60% of my news from Twitter and also go down far too many rabbit trails while looking for that news. So I used to check my timeline 2-3 times a day and try to be nearly a completionist. But now I look at Twitter maybe once every other day. In the last week or so, I've started checking it once a day and found some more news and stuff like that. But I'm definitely not getting sucked into many conversations, which is really the purpose of social media, but is also the part that gets you into time sink trouble. So I recently got an article from Cal Newport talking about reducing the amount of social media that you're using, and one of the ways is to have a specific reason for getting onto a network and sticking to that particular reason. So I go down to Twitter to look for news articles and tech articles. I don't know if it would be considered social media, but I'm still a huge RSS user. I have a giant feed with probably a couple hundred news feeds, mostly tech and some other news related kind of things, but mostly tech stuff. So that's what I use RSS for, keeping up with technology. What I've really cut back on is actually news, tech news. Tech news is not useful anymore. I used to read all about how, about patents and who was, supply chain and all this other stuff and business model and all this stuff on surrounding tech. And while it was interesting and informative, it was not useful in any way in forwarding my career or any objective that I really had. So I've tried to cut back on that as much as possible. And in general, I'm just trying to get to a point where all the news consumption that I do actually has a practical purpose, not just an entertainment purpose. And yeah, so because news can entertain you, or I can be entertained by news, almost any kind of news. Actually, any kind of shiny, bright object I could be amused by. And so reducing that on social media is one of my objectives, or it's been a goal of mine the last 6 months. And I've done an okay job, and I continue to work at it. So the whole point of this was Twitter. My favorite social network has been and still continues to be Twitter.